Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'm still setting some things up, so if you'll give me a moment, we'll get everything done. I'm still setting some things up, so if you'll give me a moment, there we go. Okay. All right. What should I bring up? I've been thinking more about my leaving for the Philippines. I was thinking about working through April. I'm not going to work through April. I'm going to work through April. I was thinking about May, but I'm not going to work through May. I will be staying through May, but I'm not going to work. The reason for this is I want to get the place cleaned up, get rid of all my stuff, and then I'll move. Hey, Jalen, thank you for coming. I want to thank you all for coming over from Crystal and showing support. We appreciate that. Uh, I'm still trying to get my other phone up, so give me a moment. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Get the invite up there, so if anybody wanted to come up, they can do it. Uh, but, I hope everybody's safe in the Philippines. I know there's some stuff going on. So I've been watching. I've been praying for everybody. Hey Jerry, if you want to come up, the thing's up there. Just getting everything set up still. Uh, yeah, like I was saying, I am staying in the states through May. Whether I'm not sure if I'll leave at the end of May or the first of June, but I'm only going to work April. I don't have a motorcycle endorsement. I was going to go ahead and get one while I was here. I checked into it, and you can only do it from April to October. Now, the problem with doing it in April here in the States, I probably wouldn't get my license till June or July. And with that uncertainty, I don't want to do it. I'd just rather go over. It may cost a little more. It may take me a little more time to get an endorsement in the Philippines, but so be it. I'd rather do that there than waste more time here working when I'm ready to retire. But I am going to work through April to build up a little more savings. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming, man. And you too, Pamela, and Marianne. Like I said, we got Julianne and a few others. Raid, my Crystal's doing a raid on me, which we appreciate. But because here in New York, you don't get your license the day you walk out, unless they've changed it, and I just don't want to take that chance. I'll go ahead and find out. I'm gonna go ahead and renew my license. Uh, my license is still good, but they want you to have a enhanced license, and I don't have the enhanced license. So I'll go and get an enhanced license, and I'll find out. Do they have to mail it to me, or can I just get it that day? Back in Indiana, I can get it that day, and it'll have my picture and everything. But here in New York, they got to send it off somewhere else to make the license, and then they mail it to you. And that could take a couple of months, and I'm just not willing to wait on it. Because, like I said, I can't take the courses until April. Now, how long is a course? Is it a week? Or does it take a whole month? I don't know. Because when I thought about it, I checked and it was at the end of October already, almost November 1st. And I couldn't, there's no way to get it done. It was just too late. I thought about it during the summer, I'd have done it over the summer. I'd have had it done. And when I had it on my license, the endorsement, and I'd be all set. But live and learn. I'll talk about that probably on a video for people, and bring that up to them and let them know, hey, look, you got to check. If you don't have your motorcycle endorsement or your license is going to expire while you're over there, shortly after you get over there, go ahead and get them renewed or get your endorsement now. That kind of stuff, because it's gonna take me some time over there, and I'm gonna have to take the courses over there. I'll have to pay the money. I'll go over there, but that's fine. I don't think it'll be any more expensive over there than over here. Although over there it'd probably be very expensive for people that are from there. But I doubt it. They may not have to take the course. I will have to take it because I don't have an endorsement, which is fine. Like I said, I'd have to take the course here too. But like I said, back in Indiana, I could get it all done in 1 month and walk out with my license with the endorsement. So if I decide to do it, maybe I'll do it in Indiana when I'm home and get an Indiana license. But I'm going to go ahead and renew my driver's license and get the enhanced driver license, which they want you to have to travel. I could probably travel without it as long as I take my passport. I'm talking about air travel. I could probably travel that way with just my passport. But but I'll just go ahead and get the enhancement license, and I'll check and see how long it takes to get the license mailed to me. If it's only a month, and if I can do the test in a week, I'll go ahead and get it and have it mailed to me and have it over with. But that's something I'll have to find out later. So how's everybody doing? Hey, Chelsea, how you doing? I hope your new video does well. My last short did quite well. It made over, as a matter of fact, the last two both went over 1,000 views. It surprised me. Made me happy, but it surprised me. So yeah, I'll have to do a short later this week. I might do either a cooking one, or I may do one, like I said, on the driver's license, but I'll probably wait on the license to find out what I got to do. But I'll probably do a cooking one this week, a short one. But we'll see. That just looks, to me, that looks like it's at an angle. I'm talking about the picture in the background. I know it's not, but it looks that way. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, especially in the Philippines. I'm praying for you all. Because I'm pretty sure all of you have been affected by an earthquake or a tornado, or not tornado, a typhoon sometime this month. Some of you by more than one of each. Some of you by multiple. So we're praying for your well-being, you're praying for your families, and hopefully everybody's doing well. But yeah, so like I said, I'm trying to get things worked out still. I plan on doing those once I get to Cebu. If you ask me right now, do I think I'll stay in Cebu for good? No, I don't. I just think, my feeling is right now that Cebu is going to be too large for me. I've lived in small towns for so long now that I just think Cebu is going to be really large unless I want to stay like in one area. But I do want to stay in Cebu for a while, 6 months to a year. There's a lot of things to see in Cebu, on the island of Cebu, and in the city of Cebu. So I do want to spend quite a bit of time there. But I do want to visit places like Dumaguete and Valencia and Iloilo and Davao City and maybe Bohol, I don't know. Maybe a couple places on Leyte. I'm not sure. And there's a few places on Luzon I'd like to visit. I really want, like, whenever I go, I don't know when I'm going to go, but I will go. Hey, Dan, good to see you can make it. I don't know when I will go to Manila area, but when I do go to Manila area, I want to see the Venice Grand Canal Mall. And I want to see the World War II cemetery. Um, you know, so there's a couple things up there I'd like to see, and I will. Like I said, I'll eventually make it up to Manila sometime. Probably I have to go up to the embassy up there, the U.S. embassy up there sometime, and I'll go see those places then. Right now, that's not a big priority. The priority is to get to Cebu, settle in, get to know that area, and actually find out for sure if Cebu will be my long-term place of residence. Like I said, if I had to guess right now, I'd say no. I really do. On the videos I see, I really do like some of the other areas. Like I said, Iloilo, Dumaguete, Valencia, Negros Oriental, Ilo, Davao City. There's some areas there I like. Plus, Danny from Road to the Philippines, Jimmy from Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie live outside of Davao City, but not too far from there. So I want to visit there just to meet up with them at least once. And so anyway, like I said, I want to visit those places. Yeah, yeah, I would like. That's what I'm looking for. Whether it's a one bedroom or a large studio, either one. I want something large enough that I don't feel cramped. So I've seen some studios that are fairly good size. And if they have a balcony, even if it's a smaller studio, you can go out on the balcony so you don't feel quite as cramped. Um, but so yeah, it just like I said, I want to find a place. I really don't know if I want to live in the bubble. I don't know how many of you guys have watched Joe Go Wander, Jogo Wander, Wond. I think I'm not sure how you spell it. Wander. Uh, uh, give me a second, and I'll tell you. But he's only been in the Philippines for the past about 6 months, and he lives in around Darwin, I think it is, over in uh, yes, Jogo, and then it's Wonder, Jogo Wander, and he's like I said, he's only been living over there for a few months. And how come I lost my? I'm going to turn that one off. Just no, there it is. I thought I lost my chat on that phone. That's what I'd like. I want, Mike. I do want to live close enough to walk to places like the grocery store, a coffee shop, uh, some kind of buses or jeepneys, some kind of mode of transportation. Uh, but yeah, like I said, that's the kind of place I'm looking for, Mike. Dan knows of a couple of places. Uh, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Like I said, I like a place that I don't feel cramped. Uh, my living room, if you take out the storage and add that part of my living room, and then give me like a little kitchen and bathroom, would be big enough for me. I don't need a super large place, at least at first, because I'm a single man and I don't plan on hooking up with anybody. That doesn't mean I won't. I just said I'm not planning on it, at least, especially for the first 2 months. That's what I said. A Jeep ride, a Jeepney ride, or a bus ride to anything. Yeah, you walk to the circle. That'd be cool. Now that put me in a good area because there's coffee shops in that area. There's restaurants in that area. There's a mall right there in the circle area. So yeah, it's just how affordable is it? Because like I said, I'm a poor boy. My budget is nowhere near Dan's budget. Uh, no, I wish my budget was that large. Yeah, like I grew up on the side of the hill, so I have to walk left to go down and right to go back up. I'm joking. But yeah, so like I said, there's just so much to see, so much things to do, so many places I'd like to check out. But it's going to depend on my income. Well, not my income, my budget. My income is not going to change. I will have plenty of money when I get over there to start up. I will have, enough money to get started and go a month or so without a paycheck, plus my emergency fund. That's different. I'm not talking about that kind of money. Now, my emergency fund may not be as large as some others, and it may be larger than others, but it's what I'm willing to take a chance with. Because, like I said, I'm just so tired. If I could, I'd leave now. Just I can't afford it. Because yeah, I know that. That's what I said. I know that area because of Chris and Cebu. When you start talking about the circle, Chris went down there a lot, so I know the area. And unless it's changed, there used to be a KFC down there. Starbucks was down there. Probably Bo's Coffee's along that way somewhere. So there's a lot to do in that area. And if it's close enough to walk to it, then that's good because I kind of like walking. Well, not really, but yeah. And you want to go to the hospital. I think that's Chan Wall that's close to there, right? I don't mind a little gritty. I just don't want a little hazardous. And down in that area, I could probably find dental work to get this done, or at least not too far from there. And I got the bill. If I did it here, I'm going to take with me. That's what I thought. And not the bill, the what they told me what it would cost for each level if I went and did my dental here. And yeah, I know, Dan. I'm not going to do my teeth that way, I don't think. But anyway, so when I find out what it'll cost me to do my dental, I'll do a comparison and let people know this is what the dentist in the States told me it would cost to do this procedure. Here's what it cost you here in the Philippines at this time, because prices change. And this is what it would cost to do this procedure. This is what it cost here, and this is what it costs to do this procedure. and I'll go with the cheapest to the most expensive, and then I'll make my choice. I'm leaning towards the middle one if I can afford it, because that way, if I need to do the most expensive one later, it fits in with it. If I do the cheaper one, it makes it a little more harder. So that's what I'm looking at, and that's why I said I'm really not looking to get together with anybody, because I like to get my teeth done and some other things. And I'm probably not going to be a real happy person when they're pulling out some teeth and doing some other work. Yeah, it would have cost you about $4.50 at Timo. Probably could have got it $4.50 instead of $9.95. I tell you though, man, the phones are getting so expensive over here. This one here, I'm not going to say how much it costs, but it's the most expensive phone I ever bought. And we're not talking $200 or $300. We're talking a lot more than that. And this one is the second most expensive phone I ever bought. So, no. Both my phones cost more than that there, Mike. And I'm saying both by themselves cost more than that. I got both of mine are Samsungs. And they got Samsungs, though, it cost you over $2,000. It's like, why would anybody want to spend that kind of money on a phone? Hey, Z, how you doing? Let me see something, Z. Well, Z, you're here from Crystal. So we're going to add you as a monitor. So if you want to drop something on your own, you can. Let me see. I thought I did it. Maybe I didn't. Let me check. Nope. Yeah, Oh, you're Cindy. Hey, all right, Cindy, how you doing? I didn't know you had a different channel. No problem, Z. You probably remember, but if you don't, just type in 3Ls if you want to. Well, I notice you don't really have much material on there, but if you want to start making that channel bigger, you can just type in 3Ls. But we're glad that you came. You have many channels. I only have two. I have this one and I have the other one that I use. As a matter of fact, I'll just do this here. Now, nobody joined this one. This is just that's my other one if you want to look at it. And then I have this channel. See, it tells you what it is. I have 28 subscribers on that channel. And I have like maybe three shorts or 3 videos. And that's it. Some videos I didn't want to put up on my own channel. So I put a couple up just to have them up on that channel. So that's my Ninja channel. But most people know it by now. So it's just not. It's just something I do. And when I move to the Philippines, I'll probably change the name of this channel. I'm thinking about maybe Triple L in the Philippines or something else. Thank you, Cindy. I bought this last year at the Filipino Festival in Albany. Now this year, I didn't get to go because it was on the same day I had to go see my sister, the one that in Indiana, the one that passed away. I'm glad I went and I got to go see her and spend some time with her. I got there on her birthday. So I got to spend her birthday with her, and then a few more days, and then I'd come back home. And then she passed away a couple of months later, along with my oldest sister. My two oldest sisters are the one that passed away. All right, Mike. But so yeah, it's like I said, it's what are we doing here? Let's take this down. This is what I cover my camera with. I used to put a tape over it, but it started messing with the clarity of the picture. Because I don't like, they say if somebody can crack into your computer, they can control your camera and your speakers. I don't do anything wrong. I just don't want people to see. This is in my living room, so, I'm not doing anything here, and I'm not going to do anything here. Now, the camera on my computer in my bedroom has got a cover that comes with it. A magnetic cover that comes with it. And I always keep that over that camera when I'm not using it. I did buy myself a new toy for my cameras. I bought a stand, one of those telescoping stands that you can put your camera on. I don't know how much I'll use it, but it wasn't that expensive. So I thought, let's give it a try because I may like it. This is where I can stand it and I can move back and do a video without having to sit right on top of it. And so I thought I'd give it a try. I bought one that's 6 foot tall. I thought about getting a smaller one, but the taller one was just a couple bucks more. Well, this camera would never see me snore. I don't sleep in here. And my other camera is never pointed toward my bed. I shouldn't say that. It's rarely pointed towards my bed. But no, I don't think anybody would want to see me snore. And besides, I wear a mask, a CPAP mask. I thought about checking into that Inspire or whatever they call it. It's some kind of operation they do so you don't have to wear the mask. It's not where they cut out your uvula. It's something else. So I thought I'd look at that maybe, see what that would cost. I know I won't get it done in the States, but maybe the Philippines or Thailand sometime I might do it. Because I really don't like the mask, but I can't sleep without it because I have such a bad episode of sleep apnea. I would, believe me, I'd have to sleep sitting up because otherwise I really wouldn't get any rest. So, no, actually, they're quite quiet now. They used to be noisier, but the one I have is very quiet. Of course, I'm on my fourth one. All right, I've been using a CPAP for 25 years now, and so I'm on my fourth. I believe it could be my fifth, but I think it's only my fourth CPAP. And each one has gotten a little quieter, and they've actually gotten a little smaller. But it's still you got to wear the mask. I wear the nasal pillow, so it doesn't cover, but it's got to go inside my nose, and then the straps go around my head and on top of my head to hold it in place. And no, I can't sleep without it. But I mean, not laying down anyway. So I got to use it, and so I'll be taking that with me. But I would love to be able to get rid of it. But like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to afford to do it. We'll have to see what that would cost. Like I said, I know I couldn't afford it here in the States without, unless the VA wants to pay for it. Believe me, if they were willing to pay for it, I'd do it. I used to sleep on my stomach before I got the mask because on my back I would never get to sleep. On my stomach I'd get to sleep. I still snored, but I would get to sleep easier. But I sleep on my back now. I have for quite a while, and like I said, they got one. I think it's called Inspire or something like that. That they do an operation that is supposed to help you sleep without using a mask. So I'll check into that sometime. But I doubt if I'll ever be able to afford to do it. And like I said, I've been using a CPAP for so long, I can use it. It's not that big of a problem. But if you're somewhere and you decide you like to stay and you don't have your CPAP with you can't stay because you can't sleep. And so let's say I went from Bye-Bye to Ormoc, and for something to happen, I couldn't get back to Bye-Bye. Same island, but I can't get back for whatever reason. Well, now I'm not going to get any sleep. And Dan, I'll tell you, it's close enough to travel back and forth in a day. So you wouldn't have to think you'd have to worry about it, but the road washes out or a storm blows in that you're not expecting. Trees get blown down and block the road. I don't know how many roads there are between them, but let's say the trees you got where you can't get through and you're going to have to wait till the next day or two. I'd get mighty damn tired. Let me tell you, I'd have to find a recliner. And even then, it would take me a while to fall asleep without my CPAP. Not at first, but Mike, let's be honest about it. Eventually, I'd want to sleep. Joke tire. And she's not going to want anything to do with me until I get this done. At least I'm not going to be looking till I get that done. I'll tell you that. Shaya Reno Raza. Is that Shane? Shane, how you doing? You got your give me a minute, Shane. Thanks for coming. Let's go ahead and make you a monitor. You're just using a Ninja channel that I didn't know, which is fine. We're glad you came. So, we're just. By the way, I want to thank everybody for watching my last two shorts. For me, they got 1,000 views each, which is real good for me. Well, that might be, but if we're going to get together, I'd help fix her look so we wouldn't have this look. We'd help her get taken care of that. But it just and that may be my Western sensitivities or sensibility, or however you want to say it. It keeps me from smiling as much as I'd like because I'm, self-conscious about it. Not enough that I'm going to stay here and work another year or two to get everything taken care of. I'm not that self-conscious about it. Because to get that, just the medium part done, I'd have to work at least another year. And where I'm talking about where I can get the money to pay for that and save money. And even then, I might not be able to save enough money to go after just a year over what I'm working. And to get the whole thing done, probably 2.5 years. I mean, that's that much money for me. Some people could do it in a year, but I don't make that kind of money. Because remember now, I want to save the money for to go to the Philippines. And so if you're taking that kind of cash away from my savings, which I don't have that much money in my savings. Now, for the middle one, I'll have that. But I'm talking about the major one. That would wipe me out and set me back a couple of years to get it paid, because that wouldn't be enough to pay for it. Taking some mints, even though I'm the only one sitting here. I like these icebreakers. Icebreakers, cool mint, or mints, however you want to say it. And I happen to like them. And so I've been taking too many of them. I'm treating it like candy instead of breath mints. But yeah, so like I said, and and the reason why I'm going to go ahead and work through April instead of getting my driver's motorcycle endorsement here, in New York, they send a driver's license stuff off to Canada, who then makes your license and then mails it to you. So that means at least probably 2 months before you get it. And I'm not waiting around for 2 months and not even be sure I got it back in time to leave for the Philippines. Just not willing to do it. Now, if I find out it'll only take a month, I may go ahead and get my license here, my motorcycle endorsement, because that'll make everything transferred over a lot easier. But that's something I got to find out. I'll go in and get my license, get my enhanced license, which allows me to take the planes around the country without my passport. That's all it really does. But I'll go ahead and get that anyway. I wasn't going to, but I will, just to see how long it takes to get my license. And if it doesn't take that long, come April, I'll see how long it's going to take the course to get my so I can get my endorsement. If it doesn't take that long, I'll go ahead and do it, and then get my license and boogie. But I'm not going to work in hey, Leah and Leah, how you doing? But I'm not going to work in May. Tim, how you doing, sir? I hope everybody's doing well. But, so, like I said, I'll get that information, and when I know, I'll put up a video on it. And thanks for rating there, Leah and Leah. We really appreciate it. And so, yeah, the more people that want to read, the better it is. But so, like I said, it just right now I'm still in that kind of research mode. I wish I could find out without having to buy that license to find out. Maybe I can find out for somebody else how long it takes to get their license. I'm glad to hear it. I'm praying for everybody in the Philippines, because I know everybody's been affected one way or another by the earthquakes and the typhoons. One or the other, if not both, affected almost everybody in the Philippines. And I know how scary that can be. I've never been in a hurricane or a typhoon. That's the hurricane is what they call it in the Pacific, on the western side of our country, or the eastern side, excuse me. On the Atlantic, they call them hurricanes. And I have been in 30-foot swells and 20-foot swells quite a bit. But I think that was just tropical storms out at sea. So I have been in rough weather, but not so much on land like that. I have had tornadoes hit close to where I live. All right, Tim. I'm glad that's that far away. You'll still probably get hit by the rain, but at least you won't get hit by the eye of it, which is the worst when you're in the center of it. But because you get it one way and then the eye goes over, it's nice and calm. Then the other side comes over you, and double whammy that way. But like I said, though, I've been in earthquakes. I have been in tornadoes, which is a whole lot different. A tornado, you kind of hunker down if you can. If you got a basement, you get in the basement. If you got a root cellar, you get in a root cellar. Hello, Crystal. Thanks for rating. We appreciate it. And so, they got storm cellars and all that, especially in the Midwest, because that's where you get a lot of the tornadoes. If you ever watch The Wizard of Oz, where her aunt and them went in the storm cellar, that's what that was built for. The storm cellar is built so when a tornado comes, you can go in there and you're safe in there. Now, if you're out in the open, if there's a ditch, get in the ditch, and especially if it's a deep ditch, because the tornado will not go down in the ditch; it'll jump over it. Now, if there's stuff in the tornado, such as animals or cars, they may drop it on you, but the tornado itself is not going to pick you up and kill you that way. And there's things that you learn if you live out in the Midwest, what to do in tornadoes. Like if you're in a house, you get the strongest room or and you want to make sure you stay away from the glass windows, because if it blows the windows out, it could cut you up real bad, maybe even kill you with the glass. If you got a tub, get in a tub. Things may go down, but the tub will help protect you. If you got something really sturdy, get under it. It's just to try to protect you from things falling is what you're doing. Like I said, if you got a basement, get down in there and find the safest area down there that you can find. Because they may rip the whole house off and not touch that basement. Because like I said, the tornado does not go into the ground. It does not go down. Yeah, you can get sucked into the funnel. So I said, you want to say, now Jerry happens to live in an area that does get a lot of tornadoes or twisters, whatever you want to call them. Texas does get a lot of tornadoes. I live in the part of the area they call Tornado Alley, which is Texas, Oklahoma, up through Illinois and Indiana. It goes right all that whole area. And when I was living in Illinois, we had a tornado touch down 3 blocks from where I lived. Now, I'm a heavy sleeper. I slept right through it. Some other people woke them up, but it didn't wake me up. I got up the next day, and less than 3 blocks, I walk over, and the houses are tore up, roofs are off, and all this good stuff. This is where I lived in Casey, Illinois, a small town. Some people would call it a village, about 5,000 people, maybe a little more. But like I said, just 3 blocks away, and things were all tore up. That's how a tornado is. It doesn't, however far the base is, that's what gets tore up when it goes through. I've also lived in in Terre Haute, when I was living outside the city of Terre Haute, living in a subdivision called Springwood. A tornado come through that area, and it jumped over our neighborhood. I mean, the whole subdivision. It tore up places before us and tore up places after us, but it just jumped over the whole subdivision. Nobody in the subdivision's homes were damaged. And so a tornado is really unpredictable. When it's going to touch down, what route it's going to, and like I said, if it doesn't touch down or come close to the ground, there's not going to be any damage if it jumps over something. So, if you got a hill and it's coming one direction, if you can get on the other side of the hill, you're safer on the other side of the hill, because they usually won't go over the hill, they'll go around. But like I said, it just doesn't. It's the way they work. It's kind of weird, but so yeah, just try to find an area that if you can't, just get the heck out of the way completely. If you see a twister or a tornado, and you can see it's going east and you're heading towards it, turn around and go south or north away from it, or go west, the exact opposite direction. Don't go near it unless you're one of these storm chasers. Stay away from it because you don't know when it's going to set down. And if it sets down anywhere near you, it could pick your car up and keep you in that funnel for who knows how long. And it can throw you against a building, or it may set you down softly. But the odds are you're going to be dead anyway, because if you're in that car, it's going to be spinning you around so much. Yeah, it's scary to see any twister, but yeah, an F5 would really, and for y'all, F5 is the strongest I think they have. And one of the widest ones that I ever heard of, I think was in Texas. And the base, and that's the smallest part of it, by the way, folks, the base, the part that touches down, was almost a mile wide. A huge twister. But it was luckily enough it was out where it wasn't around a lot of cities or anything. I don't know how many people ended up killing or whatever, but it could have been a whole lot worse, like if it hit Dallas or Houston. But yeah, like I said, I've been around a couple, but I've been lucky enough that I never had a place I was staying at got hit. Now, I do have a cousin who is handicapped now because of a tornado. It tore a tree up and dropped it on his car. He was driving. He was going to go over and check on his grandmother. He's about 16 or 17 at the time, and he's in his 30s now. And after it dropped the tree on his car, he has the mental capacity of a 5 or 6 year old. And he's physically handicapped as well. His mother, my cousin Connie, takes good care of him. And because he was going over to check on her mother. My Aunt Edith was my grandmother's sister-in-law. So it's actually my cousin Connie is my mom's first cousin, even though Connie and I are basically the same age. We're about a year apart. I'm a little older. But yeah, they could do a lot of damage. They could kill a lot of people. Yeah. But, and if you ever hear of a water, what do they call those over the water? Water funnels, or I think they call them water funnels. Those are a tornado over the water. And, but yeah, they can do a lot of damage. And then you have what they call straight winds. And a straight wind is where it comes, all of a sudden it comes straight down. And then when it hits the ground, it goes in one direction or the other. And everything in front of that gets tore up. Knock down trees, houses, everything. But they're more localized. And water spouts, that's it. Thank you, Jerry. But so yeah. So a lot of times the only way to tell if it was a twister or a straight wind is when you go out and look. If all the debris is laying in one direction, it was a straight wind. If it's everything's all just tore up willy-nilly and things are tore down all over the place in every direction, then it was a tornado. That's how they can tell the difference. And yeah, folks, I know a little bit about this. Like I said, we get straight winds more here in New York than you get twisters, but you can get them here in New York as well. But usually when the damage is done around here, it's straight wind more than a twister. But so yeah, like I said, I've had them both hit close to where I live, but lucky enough, it's never hit where I lived. I had pizza tonight there, everybody. I had what they call a garlic white pizza, which means there's no red sauce. For those in the Philippines, if you don't know what a white pizza is. And it's garlic and cheese and that kind of stuff. Very good. I happen to like it quite a bit. Maybe you'll get lucky. It won't get to rain. I thought they were calling for rain here today, and it was 55 degrees and sunny all day. I did get out a little bit, not as much as I probably should have, but I did get out. I went to the store. I bought some stuff. I'm going to do some cooking later this week. I may do a video on that. I may not. I saw something on the Google where you bring it up that shows you different things, not programs, but stories. And I saw something that, oh man, that looked good to me. And I thought, well, I could do this way and cook it. It was called Western, some kind of Western food for cowboys and cowgirls, supposedly. But it looked like it was some like potatoes, like hash browns, and some kind of meat. And I thought, well, I can get some ground pork. Well, they didn't have regular ground pork, but they do have Italian sausage, ground Italian sausage. And then I bought some hash browns. Well, they're a little nugget-like things. They're not stripped like I was hoping to get, but I didn't see any of those. And but I bought some hash browns. I got some eggs, and I thought I'll cook that up and do a video on that and show it. And I'll get a couple of meals out of it, 2 or 3 meals. I just don't know when I'm going to cook it. Not going to be today. Probably won't be tomorrow. Not tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up early. My Indianapolis Colts play football at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which would be 10:30 p.m. in the Philippines. They're playing in Germany. They're playing in Berlin, Germany tomorrow. So I'll get up early and watch the game. It'll be one of the few games I get to see live. I get to listen to all my games, but I don't always get to watch them live. I can listen to them live, but I can't. So whenever I get a chance to watch it live, I will. So that just means I'll get up early. And that's not that early. I mean, I'll get up probably about 8 o'clock, which is still early for me on a Sunday. Get around, get ready, and then I'll watch the game. I usually watch the game about an hour after the game is over. I can watch it in rerun. But so we'll see what's going on. So that'll make me happy. I'll be able to watch my game finally. But yeah, Tim, like I said, I'm praying for all the people in the Philippines because almost all of you have been affected by either earthquakes, typhoons, and some of the eruption of the volcanoes. But it's been a rough time for the Philippines right now. Now, next year, I may be in the thick of it myself. Because like I said, I do plan on going over at least by the 1st of June. I'm going to work through April. May, I'm going to pay rent on this place for May, but that's so I can sell off my furniture, get the place cleaned up, and I hope to have that done in the first week or two. And then the last 2 weeks, I won't even be here, but I've paid the rent for the whole month. And I'll make sure the electricity's turned off at the end of the month. I'll pay that bill. And Gurley, how you doing? Thank you for coming. And then, like I said, I'll take off either at the end of May or the 1st of June. But I'll go back to Indiana, visit my 2 sisters and my cousins back in Indiana. Then I'll come back here to New York, sell my car. That'll be the last thing I do is sell my car. And then I'll beat foot boogie to the Philippines. And so that's the plan. I was planning on working, I was thinking about working through May, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to work through June. I decided I don't want to do that. If I have to, I'll get my motorcycle endorsement in the Philippines. I'll go through whatever it takes me to get it over there. I'd rather pay for it may be a little more inconvenient, but I'd rather have that inconvenience than staying here and being inconvenient by continuing to work longer than I want to work. I'm ready to quit working. So the sooner I can quit working, the happier I'm going to be. So that's what I'm looking at. So we'll see what's going on. But yeah, and I'm surprised Jerry wasn't able to come up today. I even did it earlier than normal, so I thought he might come up, but he's probably had bad weather there. And if it's raining there, he's not going to want to go outside. And he always goes outside to do his when he joins me, so I can understand that. Jerry, I may not make your live stream tomorrow if you're still there. Like I said, I'm going to be watching my football game. So if you're on before the game, I'll come up and catch part of it, but then I'm going to have to bounce out at 8:30 your time, 9:30 my time to watch my game. Like I said, I don't get enough chances to watch them live as it is. So I'll be doing that. But I'll try to, if I get up in time, I'll try to make it before you, if you're on before the game. That's gone. But anyway, so yeah, unplug that. So yeah, so everyone, I just want to thank you for coming. And later on, when I do decide to change my channel name, I'll probably ask for suggestions. And if you got any suggestions before this, go ahead. I'm thinking about keeping the L's in there, at least 2 L's, because I'm going to keep the Nightbot just typing in 3 L's to let people advertise their channels. Oh wow, you're getting dark at 5:30. I thought it would be 6:30 or later. We got Mike coming up. Mike, you there? Oh, hang on a minute, Mike. I don't have my earbud in. Mike, you there? Mike, you there? Hello? Well, Mike, if you're not going to speak, yeah, I'm going to say I'd take you down. I'm not sure which Mike that was. There you go. Yeah. Larry and his lazy Larry and his life for traveling. That's not bad. Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, right now, like I said, if I had to guess right now whether or not I'd stay in Cebu permanently, I'd have to say no. I don't think I will. I just think it's going to be larger than I want. I may be wrong. I may love the largeness and everything going on around it, but I've gotten used to smaller venues in life. But that's all right. I'm gonna use that as a base of operations, and I'm not going anywhere the first couple of months. Like I said, I'm gonna get this done. I'll get a couple other things done before I go anywhere. Before I even travel around the island of Cebu, I want to get that done, and I got to have a place to stay. And I don't mean an Airbnb for a couple of weeks. I want a regular apartment that's my base of operations, and then like I said, the dental work done, and then I'll start doing some traveling outside the city. Now, the first couple of months, even at the Airbnb, I may go to Magellan's Cross, a couple other places that are actually inside the city. Those kind of things I'll do. But I'm saying to go outside of the city somewhere where I take a day and go somewhere else, I'm not going to do that until I'm settled in. All my travel, the first couple of weeks or so, will be within the city limits pretty much, or very close. All right, Mike, I see you got a sip. Huh?
How's it going?
Not too bad. How you been?
Not too bad.
So how's Jen doing?
No, she's doing real good. She's doing real good.
Well, good. Have you decided yet when you're going?
When I get healthy enough, I can.
Okay. In case any of you are wondering, this is Mike Hunt. And for some reason, when he first came up, his picture didn't come up. So, and how's
And I have
Murphy
to
doing?
always reboot.
Huh?
I always have to reboot before I come up. My phone before I come up.
Okay. Now your dog's Murphy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How's he doing?
Oh, he's doing great. He's an excellent dog. He's worn
I
out.
know. I know a lot of your videos are about Murphy, so I see a lot of your short videos with Murphy in it. Are you still there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. It was kind of dead. So,
Yeah, I'm eating ice cream right now. I'm sorry. My sugar's
no.
low.
Hey, I had some ice. I didn't need it, but I had some ice cream earlier.
Mm.
They had. I went to the grocery store today, and they had a Haagen-Dazs, buy one and get one free. Now, normally I would not spend that kind of money for an ice cream. But
Yeah.
when you get one and one free, then that reduces the price by quite a bit. It's still, to me, it's still more than I would usually spend for that much. But Haagen-Dazs is a very good ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So Signal 3 storm, all right.
Yeah. I heard there's Signal 5.
Well, it depends on where you're at, Mike. Northern Luzon is going to get hit worse than a lot of other areas. And now Tim's in southern part of. I think that's he's in Luzon, but it's more south. And remember, as it goes over land, it also breaks it down some, and it'll lose power. Just like hurricanes in Florida and Texas, when they first come in, they're very powerful. The farther inland they get, the more power they lose. So I mean, they may hit as a Category 5, but by the time they get to me, it's just a tropical storm. But it breaks down over land, depending on how strong they are when they start, how long it takes before they break down. But he's like 100, 150 miles from where the worst part is at.
Okay.
So he's quite a bit of ways from it. So where it gets towards Jorlene, how you doing? And yeah, you're guapa. Not guapo, but guapa. Well, guapas are females. Guapos are males.
I'm afraid to touch anything. Wow. I want to see what's in the chat, but I'm afraid to touch anything.
I understand.
Okay, I think I can touch this. Yeah, I think I can touch that.
I'm going to say I can usually, if I want on my phone, I can see the chat and the pictures. But because I do it on my laptop, my phones, I don't even show the pictures. I just have nothing but chat showing.
Okay.
But it's all up to how you want to set it up. If you go like this, you can see the chat and the. I don't know if you can see that. There's the picture up there, and then below it's all chat.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's easy to read the chat that way if you want to read the chat, because you don't really need to look at my ugly mug. You can take it if you go that way. You can take it like this, swipe up, and all you have is chat. You don't see anything else. If you don't want to look at my
I kind
ugly
of do. I do need to see you because I read lips.
Okay.
My hearing is kind of gone from being around jets.
Yeah. Well, you didn't wear enough earplugs then.
No, but we were security police and we couldn't do that.
Okay. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, really.
Like I said, when I was in the military, I was what they call a ship serviceman. I even got my Navy's hat. They were selling hats that you could buy, and they would put your rate on there and the years of service. And I guess if you wanted to, there were some that you could have your name put on there. I didn't want my name on there. people don't need to know my name along with my rate and not rank. Rank is your pay grade. Rate is your job code. MOS and the other branches, I think they call it, and my years of service. So mine says 72 to 78. It says ship or ships apostrophe S serviceman, and that's what I was. I was a ship serviceman. Now sometimes they have the apostrophe S, and sometimes they don't. But a ship serviceman is what I was my rate. Uh, I didn't put my rank on there. I just we lost Mike. I didn't put my rank on there, which is my pay grade, just my rate. And like I said, people don't need to know all that. I'd rather keep some of the stuff private. So I do have that. I bought it for the 250th anniversary of the Navy. I was in the Navy when it was turned 200. That was in 1975. I was in from 72 to 78. So I was there for the 200th birthday. I was actually active. And so, yeah, I'm proud of my service. I enjoyed the Navy. That's how I made it to the Philippines. That's how I met a lot of Filipinos. I worked with a lot of Filipinos when I was in the Navy. Like I said, I was in the Philippines a couple times. Actually, both times. One time I was only there for a day. They wouldn't even let me off the ship. My first time, we pulled in, offloaded. Well, we took on some supplies. We had a guy get off the ship and a guy get on the ship. We were there for 4 hours. That was it. Boom. The only ones they let off the ship was in the working party, and I wasn't in the working party. So, by the way, the working party is a work crew. They call it a party, but it's not. You go on and you stack the stores that you're bringing onto the ship or whatever, and then boom, 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 you put it away. But the stuff being brought on wasn't for supply. I was in supply, ship serviceman and storekeepers are supply, but it wasn't coming in for supply. It was coming in for probably weapons or something like that. Maybe who knows who it was coming in for. It wasn't my group, so I wasn't in the working party. And man, I'm starting to plug up, and so yeah, that was the first time. Now the second time we were there for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. Then we left, and came back, and the third time, the second and third time was the same Westpac. Same time we went over at the same time, came back, one trip. But we was in the Philippines for about a week or two. Then we went to Okinawa. No. We didn't go to Okinawa at that time. Yeah, we did. We went to Okinawa and then we went to Hong Kong. And then we went back to the Philippines. And then when we got back to the Philippines, we were there for about 2 months, maybe a little longer. We were supposed to be there longer than what we were. Then we went to Taiwan. And we were supposed to be in Taiwan through Christmas and after past New Year's. And a ship broke down, supposedly. Something happened, nobody knows what. We always suspected it was sabotage. They didn't want to leave the Philippines and go to Japan. Somebody broke the boat, the engine. And we had to leave Taiwan to go to Japan. And so we went to Japan. I don't even know if we were supposed to go to Japan that trip. But that's what happened. So that's what, and I always wanted to go back. I was one of the sailors that I liked doing the Westpac. I liked going overseas. I enjoyed that, going from one place to another. Kishar, how you doing? Let me check you out. Kishar, if you like, give me a second here. Okay. We'll give you a monitor. Now, you could do, if you want to advertise your channel, just type in 3Ls. That'll be enough. But if you want to do it on your own, go ahead. I as long as I know you're not a tro, I'm more than willing to give you a monitor. I think I've seen you in somebody else's live stream before, if I remember right. So we'll give you that, and you're more than welcome. We thank you for coming. Like I was saying earlier, I plan on, in case you don't know, I don't know if you can tell by the hat, that's a Filipino flag. I do plan on moving to the Philippines next year, end of May, 1st of June, if everything goes right. I don't see why it won't, but you never know. You can't say never. Good Lord may have different plans for me, but I hope not. I hope I get to go to the Philippines soon. I've got all my bills paid off. Well, outside of my car. So the only bills I have right now is my apartment, my rent, my utilities, my internet, my phone, and my groceries. That's pretty much it. But I'm saving money every month to build up, to have a nice emergency fund, to have the money to do some stuff. Curly, thank you for coming. We appreciate. Hey, Shako, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. Shako Sad, thank you for coming. All right, Tim, if you're still there, you take care, man. Be safe. And so anyway, like I said, I pretty much got the money for setup in a couple months savings right now. But I still got to set up my emergency fund and then the money for my dental. I can't count that as my part of my emergency fund. It's something I want to get done. So I want that. That's one of the reasons I got to work through April to make sure I have that money. I'm pretty sure I'll have my emergency fund and I'll have that money there by the end of April. Or by the end of May when I sell my car. So, because I'll make a profit there. And that will help push me over if I'm not already over before that. So I got my plan laid out. Now I'm just going to carry it out. All right, Chelsea. But so anyway, we're trying to get that done. Like I said, once I get done working in April and May, I want to get rid of all my stuff here. And now, except for the pictures and stuff, I'll find some way to store that or take that with me. The frames I won't take with me. That just wait. They didn't cost that much to buy new frames. I'll get new frames for all my pictures. There's family photos mostly, and family photos, and I got some pictures of friends as well. And so we'll get that stuff. That stuff will go with me. I'll probably get rid of everything else. I got a coffee table that's over 60 years old. I'll probably give that to my nephew, Tim. Let him have it. But everything else is either, if somebody, one of my friends or my nephew wants it, they can have it. And those that don't want, whatever people don't want, I'll get rid of. I'll have a used furniture place come in here, tell me how much they'll give me for it, and then they can have it, and I'll be on my way. But like I said, after I do all that, I'll have somebody come in here and professionally clean it, turn my stuff, my keys and stuff. Anime Reyes, how you doing? Thank you for coming. But I'll have somebody come in here and professionally clean this place. I hate cleaning, so I'll pay somebody to clean it. Then I'll turn my keys back into the office, even though I'll have time left on my apartment. Then I'll go back to Indiana, visit my 2 surviving sisters and all my cousins back home. Then I'll come back out here again, stop to see my nephew and my brother-in-law in Batavia, New York. Then I'll come back down here, sell my car. All right, I understand. I'll do my laundry probably Monday morning. It seems the laundromat here on site is not as busy on Mondays because most people are working. I happen to be off. So I'll go over after I drink my coffee, do my laundry, maybe do some shopping, go buy gas or whatever I need, and get my laundry done, and then relax the rest of the day. But yeah, I got most of the stuff I got to get done as far as my banking goes. Done. I just got to shut down my one banking account. I want to make sure all the bills that were going to hit have been transferred to another account. I think I got them all transferred now. I'll know here in a little bit. And once they're all transferred over, I'll go in and pull the rest of that money out. And that money will go towards my setup money. And that will put me over the top of what I want for that. So it's there. And just I got to transfer it from that one to a different account. And that will be more than enough money for me to go over, find a place to live, put my first month, last month, and a deposit if I have to, put all that money down and still have enough money to go to maybe about 3 months without a check coming in if I have to. That would make things tight if I had to go 3 months, but I could do it. Now, I won't have to because I have the other account as well. And that's the one my retirement fund's going into. So I'll pull out what I want each month and use it. But sometime eventually you may run into where you're going to have trouble with that. And that's why I want that extra fund in that one account. In case that happens, I can still get some money. That's why I want 2 accounts. If one gives me trouble, I should be able to get money from the other. So that's why I decided to go with 2 accounts. I went with 2 accounts. Neither one of them charges international fees if I use their credit cards. The one I'll have to pay the ATMs for out of network, but the other one I won't. So that's the one I'll use. But the one that would charge me for using out of network is the one that's going to have my bills coming, my retirement funds going into. But like I said, I'll just use that to transfer to the other one that doesn't. And we'll do it that way, which will be a good way for me to do it. Some people might not like doing it that way, but that's all right. I can't help what other people like. But I'm going with a USAA Federal Savings Bank account. You have to be a former serviceman like myself. And I think even government employees now can join. Originally, it was just for former servicemen and their families. Now, being a former sailor, I'm entitled to join on my own. Now, if I had kids, my kids could join. I don't have any kids. But if I did, or if I was married, I could get my wife in, but I'm not married. Marina, Mariva. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it wrong. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But Mariva. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. How you doing? Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Like I said, right now I'm just talking about if everything goes right, I'll be in the Philippines next year at the end of May, 1st of June. So next year I'll be going through the tropical storms and the typhoons with everybody else, and if necessary, the hurricane. Listen to me, not hurricanes. That's what we have here on the East Coast. But the earthquakes. Uh, yeah, so we'll be there next year. Like I said, I'm going to Cebu. I want to get at least a 6 month, if not a year, uh, place to stay in Cebu. So it'll be my base of operations. And being perfectly honest about it, one of my first trips off the island will probably be to Dumaguete and Valencia because it's so close, those two places. So the first place out of Cebu would probably be those two. And then I'd have to decide where I'd want to go after that. And like I said, a lot of this is going to depend on what my cost of living is. I know what I want to spend. And then the money over that is the money I want for travel. And then the money over that's what I want to put back for emergencies and keep building up that emergency fund until it's very large. But we'll see. I think I can do it. I don't know if I can do it in Cebu, but that's all right if I can't. Because if I can't do it in Cebu, that just means I won't stay in Cebu. I'll go somewhere else. But Cebu is a good place to start. And they got a lot of Western amenities. A lot of people speak English all over the Philippines, so that's not a problem. It's also pretty well centrally located for traveling to other places like Dumaguete, Siquijor, Iloilo, Davao City, Bohol. There's a lot of places that's not too far away that you can travel to from Cebu, so it's good for that. That's another reason why I want to be in Cebu. Whereas if I was in Manila, it'd be more of a hassle to travel to some of these places. Of course, to go to Manila for Cebu is going to be a hassle, which I do want to do. I do, like I said, I don't know when. I do want to go to Manila eventually. I want to go to Angeles, Clark area to see Tim, and I may go to Subic Bay because when I was in the Navy in the Philippines, Subic Bay is where my ship was. That's where we were at. So it might be interesting to go down there and see how much it's changed. Like I said, I haven't decided where my permanent place of residence is going to be. That first year to 2 years, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Where do I want to live? How do I want to live? Do I want to just stay in condos all the time, or do I want to rent a house? Because as an expat, I can't own a house, and I do not plan on buying a condo. So it's do I want to rent condos or do I want to rent a house? If I'm staying in a place like Cebu, it's going to be condos. Larger cities, it's going to be condos. It's that simple. It just doesn't make sense to rent a house in Cebu. I'm talking about Cebu City. So, it all depends on where I live. Let's say I go to Valencia, I would originally want to rent a apartment. But after I'm there for a while, who knows? Maybe I want to rent a house. But no matter where I live, I want to find somebody to come in and clean my place once or twice a week. Now, the ideal situation would be another expat's wife who wants to make some money and somebody I can get along with, so we can sit there, drink a beer or two, shoot the breeze, talk about back home, and complain about things together, about back home, not about I hope I'm not complaining about the Philippines, complaining about the people back here while she cleans the place. So she makes a little extra money. I get a visit with somebody and talk about home, or and then once or twice a week. That would be the ideal clean. If I'm talking about if I'm renting a house, if I'm renting an apartment or a condo, ideally, the ideal situation would be the building would have people that you could pay them, and they would come in and clean it, and they actually work for the complex, the apartment or condo complex, and you just pay a few bucks, whatever it is, once or twice a week, and they come in and clean your place, and they go on and clean somebody else's, and that's what they do for a living. Some of those places have it; they treat it something like a hotel. So that would be if I'm in a hang on, people. I gotta talk. All right, I think it was Mike. He said his phone rang and he could no longer hear me. So I just wanted to let him know it was okay. So like I said, it. Close that up. I don't know why it's still open. So those are things I'll find out after I get there. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like cleaning. I don't mind cooking. I'll probably cook one or two. I'll probably cook 3 or 4 meals a week. I may cook every breakfast. I don't know yet. I kind of doubt if I'll cook that much. But I don't mind cooking. But I hate cleaning a house. I hate dusting. I hate that stuff. I'm a single man. I'm a slob when it comes to housekeeping. That's why I don't show my apartment too much. But I'm being brutally honest. Minnie Snow, how you doing? Let me give you a blue jacket, Minnie. Well, it's been here. It's been a while since you've been here. There you go. We don't want you getting cold. So, like I said, people, if any of you got a channel and you want to advertise it, just type in 3 L's. They can be capital or small, doesn't matter. Just type in 3 L's and my Nightbot will drop your link. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you're nice and safe and everybody in your family's safe. Like I said, I plan on moving over there to the end of May, the 1st of June next year. I do have a couple things I got to check on, but they won't stop me. Like I said, I want to find out how much of a hassle it would be to get my motorcycle endorsement here in the States. If it's too much of a hassle, I'll do it in the Philippines. Because I'm not extending my time here in the States to get it done. It's just not going to happen. I just don't have the patience for it. I'm tired of working. I've been working for, I hate saying this, well over 55 years. I've been gay. How you doing? Thanks for coming. But yeah, I've been working for almost over 55 years, off and on. There's been a couple of years where I didn't work, but I was doing. I might have been in school. I was never out of work for a couple of years without doing something when I was in school or in school. I did have time where I worked 2 part-time jobs, and there was times where I had more work than I really wanted, or I didn't have enough work with those 2 jobs. But I was working. All right, Jerry, you take care, man. And like I said, if I get up in time and you got a live stream going, I'll catch it before my game. If not, you have a good one. We'll talk to you later, man. Take care. Have a good night's sleep. And so, yeah, it just, I'm getting excited and nervous both about my move. I have moved. I've lived all over not all over. I've lived in quite a few places in the United States. I was in the Navy in San Diego, California. I was also in the Navy in Seattle, Washington, Tacoma area, also in Bremerton, Washington State. I've lived in Illinois, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, and a couple different cities in New York. And I've traveled quite a bit. I've been to Louisiana, New Orleans to be exact. I've been to Nashville, Tennessee. I've been to Alabama. I've been to a few other places. Been to Iowa. I had cousins that used to live in Iowa. All right, Mertz, how you doing, Mertz? Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing my videos. But there's times I've gone places and didn't know anybody where I was going, but I was still in the States. And this will be the first time I've gone overseas without knowing somebody that was going with me. Because I've been to China on vacation, but I had some friends that went with me. And yeah, I know. I've been following it as much as I could, Mertz. I am praying for everybody in the Philippines about these typhoons and earthquakes and that volcano that erupted up in Luzon. I've been praying for the people, hoping they're all safe, and I will continue to pray for them. But yeah, like I said, so this is the first time I'm going to a country by myself without actually. Now I know Dan, but Dan and I have never met physically, and I know some other YouTubers, but we never met physically. So this will be the first time I've done something like that. I'm excited about doing it, but it does make me a little apprehensive because I am in person. I have very few close friends. All right. My best friend. I'm sorry to hear that, Mertz. We'll pray for him. Hopefully, everybody will be all right. My very best friend from my high school day, junior high day, he's passed away earlier this year or last year. And so it was the first time I went back home this year that I wasn't able to visit with him. And we've always stayed close, even though we're very far away. My best friend now, it was one of my best friends to begin with, lives here in this area. Her and her family. I mean, her brother, her sister-in-law, herself, her mother, her dad before he passed away. I was friends with all of them, great friends. I used to take her dad all around when she was in college back in Terre Haute. Thank you, Mertz. Yeah, it was really a shock losing two sisters that close together. I mean, they were just 2 days apart. And so it really was a shock. And I thought the one sister was getting better, my oldest sister, the one that passed away first. And then she went to the hospital that evening and was gone that evening, that early in the morning. She didn't last long at all after they got her to the hospital. And when my brother-in-law called me about my sister passing, I thought he was calling me about my other sister. And when my sister Wanda passed, my brother-in-law, Wanda was his wife, he called me. I thought he was calling about my sister Ruth Ann because Ruth Ann was in bad shape. And we weren't sure if she was going to make it. And I thought she was in worse shape than my sister Wanda. And then he told me it was my sister Wanda. And then a couple of days later, I find out my sister Ruth Ann passes as well. So I go to my sister Wanda's funeral, and I'm double whammy, lost two of my sisters. Now, my sister Wanda, I was a little closer to her than my other sisters, except for maybe my youngest sister. My sister Wanda's my oldest. But when I was a baby, or an infant, not a baby, my mom had a miscarriage. So my sister Wanda took care of me. So she was kind of like a second mother to me. And we appreciate the Flying Hearts. And so I really broke down at her funeral. I mean, I tried to talk, and I was crying. I mean, I was really in tears. Now with my sister Ruth Ann, I didn't cry, but I had the believe me, I felt I was emotional, but I was able to keep it together better, and I was a pallbearer for my sister Ruth Ann, and but yeah, that was tough as well. But like I said, it was just 2 days apart. That was it, man. I was just didn't really have enough time to recuperate from losing one sister, and you lost the second one. So yeah, this year was very hard on my family. Back in March, we lost our mother. Then in August, we lost two sisters at the end of August. So yeah, I miss my mom. I miss my dad. No, my dad passed away back in '81, or was it '80? He passed away a long time ago, and so yeah, so yeah, it's quite tough. And both my sisters and all my friends know I'm going to the Philippines. My one friend that lives close to me, she says I have to do it because if I don't, I'll regret it later on. And she's right. If I don't go later on, I'm going to be thinking, what happened? What if? And that'll be a regret. So I have to go and give it a try. I hope it works out. My sisters back in Indiana both agree with it. They think I should go. So I'm fortunate in that my closest family, to me, agree that I should go. So it'll be bittersweet when I go home and see them for the last time in person. But, I'll see if we can figure out a way. I guess there's a way to talk to them where you can be video chat through Facebook Messenger. Now, my sister Alta, she doesn't have a smartphone, so we'll have to see what we can do about that. She doesn't have a computer. She doesn't want one. But maybe we can get one of my niece or to go over once in a while, and I can call them on Facebook Messenger, and we can have a conversation. The three of us, our four, because she may have her daughter with her. So I can at least see her and talk to her once in a while. Try to keep in touch that way. That's about the only thing I can think to do. My one friend, I've known her for, oh God, 35 years, 36 years. We've known each other for a very, very long time. I'm trying to think. Damn, we're pushing 40 years, how long we known each other. It's like I said, we're just good friends. She's talking about maybe sometime coming over and visit if I decide to stay over there. And I told her she's more than welcome to come. If I am with someone, they're going to have to understand. This is one of my best friends. We've never been anything but friends. We've never been lovers. And she wants to come visit. She can stay with me. So if that means I have to get a 2-bedroom Airbnb while she's visiting, that's fine. Maybe her daughter will come with her. And so I'll get them an Airbnb 2 beds. I'll pay for it. They can stay there and I'll stay in my apartment. I don't care. If she wants to come visit, she'd come and visit and I'll take care of it. She's done a lot for me over the years. when I was broke, she wanted to go somewhere. She goes, "Don't worry about it. She'd take care of it," because she wanted company. She didn't want to go by herself. She didn't feel safe. She knew she was safe with me. If you're wondering uh, why we never dated, I'll tell you the truth. When I met her, she was dating somebody I knew. By the time they broke up, we were friends. And she didn't want to date. And I was willing to accept that. I liked her enough as a person. I was willing to be friends with her. We met when she was in college, working on her master's. And I got to know her dad real well while she was in school. I'd go pick her dad up, and he and I would go running all over town and doing things, because otherwise he was just sitting home doing nothing. And if I was off, that's all I was doing. And I liked her dad enough that I wouldn't pick him up. We go running all over the place together. I mean, they're not really, they're breath mints, but I eat them like candy. They're called icebreakers, cool mints. And yeah, I probably shouldn't eat them like I do, but they're sugar free, so they got 30% fewer calories than regular than the sugar mints. These have no sugar, and I think they're like maybe 5 calories per mint, if that. No, not bubblegum, mint. It's a hard thing, and they melt in your mouth, and it's supposed to help your breath smell better, which they do, but I don't do it for that reason. I do it because I like the taste of it. It'd be like a hard candy, not a bubble gum. If you ever had a hard candy, it'd be more like a hard candy. I have no clue. I don't care. I'm not trying to get monetized. I don't know if I'll even get monetized when I go to the Philippines. I don't plan on it. And the reason for that is this is my hobby. And if I get monetized, I'm afraid I'll start treating it like a job. And I don't want a job. So I'll do this for fun. That's another reason why if I don't feel like doing more than one or two more than a video or a short and a week, or if I don't feel like doing any that week, I don't. That's all I do. Yeah, I enjoy this. I do this for fun. I started doing this because I knew once I retired, I was going to need something to do. And I wasn't sure if I'd enjoy YouTube or not. But people always ask me about why I use the name Lazy Larry. And so I thought, well, I need to do a video. And let's do a video on it and put it out there. Let's see. I'll tell people how I got the name Lazy Larry and why I use it. That was my very first video. Hello, I'm Lazy Larry. And I did that. I enjoyed it. It was a talking head like this. But I was not talking I didn't have anybody in the chat. It was just me talking. And then I did one called Before I Was Lazy Larry. And I talked about my family. And then I did one, like I said, I just, it gives me something to do. And when I get to the Philippines, I know myself. I don't want to become what we call a couch potato. A couch potato is someone who just stays on the couch, watch TV, eats, and doesn't do anything. So you have to have a hobby. And if I vlog, even if I were to go out once or twice a week and actually take video and put it up, that gives me something to get out of the house a couple times a week. Then if I do a live stream, that's something to do three times a week. So I got something to do besides sit in the house or just go I do not. Yeah, I understand why a lot of people get, especially in the Philippines, why a lot of the Filipinos want to be monetized. I understand that fully. Uh, I don't want to do it because I'm hoping I can live on just my Social Security and save money. And that's what I plan on doing. I plan on just living on my Social Security and doing this for fun. Uh, so if I can help somebody else out, I'll do that. Uh, but like I said, for me, uh, this is my enjoyment. This is my hobby. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to find something to do when I retire. Now, who knows? I may later on decide, hey, I want to make some, turn this into a, a life, a money maker. Oh yeah, and this way it lets you stay home. Verts, or spend time with your kids as well, because you can take them out and get something to eat and show the kids playing, or show the food that you bought, doing your live stream. It lets you, you know, that's fine, Mertz. Like I said, once I retire, I don't know how much I'll be able to help people. I'll still help when I can, but I just don't know if I'll be able to do as much because I got to find out how much my cost of living is. See, the money I make is more than what I won't. I will not make half as much money once I retire. I'll make less than half of what I'm making right now. Okay, I'll drop down that much, and so I gotta think about that when I get to the future. Right now, I can help and still save money, and that's what I'm doing. Uh, Once I get there, I may help in other ways. Uh, Maybe I'll have some giveaways, such as maybe like Dan does, give away pesos. Maybe I'll do something like Mike did that one time on Elvis channel. Maybe give some rice away. Uh, I don't know. I mean, that's something I'll figure out when I get there. Once I've been there for a while, I won't do much of anything when I first get there because I got to figure out what I'm spending and how much money I have over what I need to live and enjoy my life. So that stuff I won't be able to figure out till I get there. Uh, yeah, I can't wait. Like I said, right now I'm nervously excited. Let's put it that way. I'm nervous because I've never really done something. I'm retired next year. I will be done working at the end of April. If everything goes right, at the end of April next year, I'm done working. I will take the month of May I'm getting rid of all my stuff. Because even if I come back, I'm not coming back to here. I got to go somewhere where I can afford to live with just my Social Security. I cannot do that here. So I got to get rid of all my stuff because I'm not going to store it. It costs me too much money to store it and then try to move it somewhere else. And then after I get rid of this stuff, which I plan on doing in May, hopefully the first week, I'll have somebody come in and professionally clean this place, turn my keys and everything back into the management, and then I'll go home to Indiana and visit my sisters and my cousins back home in Indiana. Then I'll come back to New York, visit my nephew and my brother-in-law in Batavia, New York, then come back down here and visit my friends here, sell my car, and then I'll be foot boogie. End of May, 1st of June. I'm leaning towards the 1st of June. And when I say I got to check the, let me look right now. I got to check the calendar. And how about somewhere around? Yeah, we're looking at towards the first of June. because it'll probably be somewhere around the 3rd of June if everything works out right. Because that'll be in the middle of the week, and that's usually when it's cheaper to fly. So I'll go for the cheaper flights. And so we're looking at that. So yeah, like I said, we're getting nervously excited. Nervous because, like I said, I've never gone that far without knowing somebody. I've traveled around the country without knowing somebody. All right, but I'm in my own country. So that's different than going to another country where you don't know anybody. Every time I've gone to another country before, I went with people I knew, whether it was in the Navy or, like I said, I went to China back in 1999. There was a group of us that went. I had a great time. I may try to get those pictures all put on a hard drive or some type, or thumbnail, or thumb drive, excuse me, not thumbnail, thumb drive, and maybe do a video on those sometime. But there you go, 3 L's. But anyway, I've always gone with other people. This will be the first time that I know people, but I've never met them in person. Like Dan and I have talked to. We've seen each other on in our live streams. We've even done live streams together, but we've never really met. And Dan's not going to be, unless he happens to be there when I arrive, he's not going to be in Cebu when I go to Cebu. He lives in Bye. So, and there's other bloggers I've seen, but I don't know them. I mean, you don't know somebody in my opinion, until you meet in person. That's why I don't believe in long distance relationships. It's nothing against the women that want to do that. It just, for me, it doesn't feel right until I know when I'm going to get there. And I'm not looking to start a relationship before I get to the Philippines, because I don't want to be saying, well, we're going to live in Cebu, because I may not want to live there. Until I find out where I want to live, I'm really not looking for a relationship. All right. But anyway, so like I said, Cebu is where I'm going to start at, but there's places like Dumaguete, Valencia, Iloilo, Davao City, Bohol, some places like Civic Bay, or just right outside of Manila, live close to Manila maybe, and Luzon. These are areas I wouldn't mind checking out if I don't think Cebu's going to work. Some of the areas I want to check out anyway. And some of the areas have people that I know through YouTube that I would like to meet in person. So all that would we'll see. Yeah, you'll see me soon. Now, Mertz, are you in Cebu? Because whoever's in Cebu, I got to know the people I'm going to be seeing, because I'll have to take some gifts for them. I forget the term you guys use, but it's gifts from here. I'll have to take some gifts with me, especially those in Cebu that I know. We'll try to get together and have something to eat sometime after I get settled in. Like I said, the first couple of weeks, hopefully it won't take me that long, but to find a place to settle into. And so, yeah, I want to find a place that I can afford, and then I can get somebody to come in and clean it and do that. But yeah, okay, so yeah, we'll have to get together sometime. You, your husband, and myself, and your kids. Maybe we'll meet at Jollibee's or something like that. Of course, it'll be my treat when we do meet. So I look forward to doing that. I think Anime is in that area, and I'll have to do the same thing with Anime. I believe Anime Reyes is in Cebu area. And then there's Michelle Life if she wants to get together. I like the Chicken Joy, and I may get some in December. A friend of mine is going to be going to China, and I told her I would drive her and her daughter's friend down to New York City so she can catch the plane to China. She's going. That's where she's from originally. She's going to go back home and see some people she knows, and I'll go down there and spend a day or so. And if I do go all the way down, I may not go all the way down. It depends on the weather and what's going on. But I'll drive them at least to where they can catch the train to go down. And so anyway, I'll probably hit Jollibee's there again in Little Manila. But I'll probably go there. It'll be by myself. And it depends how long I'm down there. I may even, they got a Forex down there, which is foreign exchange. I'm talking about money. So I may even look into getting some pesos while I'm there. So I won't have to buy any pesos in the airport when I get there. So if that happens, I'll let you all know that it happened. But that weekend, if I go down, probably will not be a live stream that weekend because they're leaving, I think, on a Saturday or Sunday. So I think it's a Saturday they're leaving. So we'll probably drive down on Friday, and I probably won't. I may just decide to stay down to the weekend. I may not. It just depends. Because I think that time frame that we're talking about, where I work at, is going to be shut down. Where I work at, they shut down for the holidays. When they shut down, I can't work. They close down completely, and the guards we don't get to work. We don't get paid, so I'll probably take it as vacation. So I was thinking about taking my vacation and going back to Indiana, but I won't do that during the winter. And now if I'm not going to go down there in May, I'll take my vacation that time frame and take that whole week or so off. And that way I won't have to. Because I think they're going to be shut down that week. We're talking about the week between Christmas and New Year's. I think they're going to be shut down that whole week. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I feel is going to happen. If it is, I'm just going to take the whole week off as vacation and stay home and not worry about it. But like I said, if she wants to go down during that week and do some things down there, we'll do that. Because I'll probably still have some Christmas decorations up that week. So it'll be a good time to go down and get some videos of that. See if that foreign money exchange place is open. Christina, how you doing? And if they're open, then I can go in and get some pesos. And so I'll have pesos with me when I get there. So I won't have to pull money out at the airport, which you don't get the best rates from my understanding if you do it at the airport. But I'll have the money to catch a Grab or Uber, which is every one you have in the Philippines, and then also pay for my hotel rooms and stuff. I'll have enough money for all that. All right, hey folks, the CR is starting to call me, and so I'm going to have to get going. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I will do another live stream next week. I don't know when I'm going to post it, but I will do one more next week, and we'll keep going. Like I said, sometime in December, I'll have to take one weekend off, I think. But anyway, thank you for all coming, and I want to wish you all safety and health, and there in the Philippines. I hope the typhoon doesn't affect you too badly. I know some of you said you got some family members that are flooded, so hopefully they'll be okay. I want to send my prayers your way, and wish everybody luck. And I want to hope everybody stays safe, and along with your family and your friends and your loved ones. I will be praying for you all, as I have been here this whole week, actually longer. Ever since I heard about the earthquakes and then the typhoon, I've been praying for everybody in the Philippines, even those that I don't know. I want everybody to be safe and healthy. But all right, everybody, it's time for me to go. Like I said, the CR's calling. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, try to have fun. Bye.